The smell of grilled meat clung to the air. My shirt was damp with sweat, partly from the heat, mostly from what was about to happen. I had just placed the house keys, the ones I bought with my own sweat, on the picnic table when my mom's voice cracked like a whip. You stole your brother's future. The chatter died. Plates froze madder. Everyone stared at me like I'd been caught with blood on my hands. I didn't flinch. I just picked up my beer, took a slow sip, and thought, here it comes. I left home at 16, not because I wanted to, but because staying meant drowning. My parents funneled every resource into my older brother, Daniel, the golden child. His car, his tuition, his apartment. Meanwhile, I flipped burgers at night, stocked shelves at dawn, and studied in between. Vacations, never birthdays. Skipped shifts meant skip rent, but I kept my head down, saved every dollar, learned the value of self-reliance. By 24, I had what no one expected, a mortgage approval in my name, my house, my freedom, and apparently in my parents' eyes, Daniel's stolen future. The barbecue wasn't a betrayal. It was the beginning of the exposure. The real betrayal arrived a week later. A knock at my door. A manila envelope shoved into my hands. Summons. Plaintiffs. My parents. Accusation. Intentional. Interference in the economic opportunity of their son, Daniel. I laughed so hard. The process server raised an eyebrow. My own family was suing me for working too hard, for succeeding without them. But the more I read, the darker it got. They weren't just filing nonsense. They were demanding financial damages. The number, almost exactly what I'd saved for my down payment. They wanted to claw back. My house. That was the moment the heartbreak flickered out and the fire lit in its place. I didn't throw the papers, didn't call them screaming. I sat at my kitchen table, the one I built, from clearance wood, and opened my laptop. Step one, call a lawyer. Not just any lawyer, a family law bulldog with a reputation for dismantling frivolous suits. Step two, collect receipts. Pay. Stubs from 16 onward. Bank statements. Rental agreements. Emails where my parents bragged about supporting Daniel. Through failed degree after failed job. Step three, smile. Because I saw the hole they dug and realized they'd handed me the shovel. At the hearing, my parents arrived with Daniel trailing. Like a shadow, he avoided my eyes. Mom clutched her pearls like she was, starring in her own tragedy. Dad puffed his chest, convinced his word was still gospel. Their lawyer, a tired man who clearly took this for a paycheck, argued that I had diverted family resources by buying my own house, thus depriving Daniel of reasonable parental support. The judge's eyebrow nearly hit the ceiling. My lawyer slid a stack of documents across the table. Every job I'd worked since 16, every rent check I'd signed, every scholarship I'd earned, side by side with my brother's. Record, 3 drop majors, 2 DUIs. My parents paid off and a year living. Rent-free in a downtown condo. They funded. The contrast was surgical, brutal, undeniable. By the time my lawyer rested, the courtroom felt like a funeral. And then came my moment. The judge allowed me to speak. I stood calm as stone and said, Your Honor, I didn't steal my brother's future. I built mine alone, if their definition of love is draining one child to inflate another, then the only thing I'm guilty of is refusing to play along. Silence, except for the sound of Daniel's chair creaking as he shifted in shame. The ruling was swift, case dismissed with prejudice, meaning they could never drag me into court for this again. But the real blow wasn't legal, it was financial. The judge ordered my parents to pay my legal fees, tens of thousands, money they didn't have. That night, my phone lit up with messages. Mom, how could you do this to your own family? Dad, ungrateful. Brat, Daniel, nothing, just silence. And I smiled because for once the silence was louder than their accusations. Weeks later, I hosted my own barbecue. Same smell of grilled meat, same picnic. Tables, but this time surrounded by friends. I chose people who knew the worth of effort, not entitlement. I set my house keys on the table again, but no one screamed. No one accused. They just raised a glass. And in that moment, I realized the truth. I didn't need their approval, didn't need their will, didn't need their name. I had my house, my freedom, my future. And the best part, the lawsuit that was supposed to break me had instead bankrupted their illusion. So, if you're wondering what happened next, here it is in simple words. They tried to sue me for building a life. Instead, they paid for